What's good, y'all? Welcome to the very first episode of the Z Tribe podcast. I am one of your hosts, Ruben, the immigrant Palomera.
Milton Hydration, son.
Anthony, the tall boy, Sanchez.
Simpson the Black.
Sanchez, big head.
So, on today's first episode, we are going to talk about how us very special, quote unquote, special individuals met each other. I'll start it off by saying that we've been best friends. Some of us have been best friends longer than the others. I've known these guys for around 4+ years. The recent guy I met in the group is Sanchez. I'll start off by him since he is the newest one that I met. I'm gonna be honest. I don't remember how I met him. I'm just gonna be straight up. I don't remember how I met you.
I think we met with Simpson. Simpson introduced us.
I think that's how we.
I believe that's how it happened. Yeah.
I just remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can say the same thing. You know, I don't even remember how.
The thing that I vividly remember. Yeah, the thing I vividly remember was on freshman orientation when both of them were wearing the same Air Forces, and I was like, yo, this low key Simpson, but if he was white, because it was the same. Yeah, except Sanchez has a big ass head, but we all have our own thing, and
exactly.
I like ever since then we've gone through some crazy stuff. Some stories a little dumber than others. We'll get into those stories in other episodes or just another time that we have time to discuss some stories. Like there's some crazy ones. There's a story that does involve the cops, and Simpson knows that thoroughly. We're not going to talk about that.
Which one?
Yeah. We'll get there when we get there.
Anyways,
which one?
Well, Milton, the one that was. Look, we don't have to discuss it right now, guys. All right.
All right, just get on with it.
Yeah. Behind Sanchez, Milton was kind of another guy I started getting closer to once I got into high school. I met Milton when we were in freshman year. We started talking, getting a little closer more in our chaotic Spanish class in, I think, was it fourth period, Milton?
Yeah, fourth period.
Yeah, that class was chaotic. I'm pretty sure all of us have gotten in trouble at least once. There's been dumb stories from that class too. But ever since then, Milton's been alongside the times where we were the closest and we were, laughing our asses off, just being alongside dumb shit that goes on around here.
Making out in the closet and stuff like that.
Yeah, making out a few times then and there, that's something we don't have to be discreet about. But anyways,
I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I don't know about that one either.
Oh, how'd you meet Esteban?
What?
Ruben, how did you meet Esteban?
How did I meet Esteban?
Tell us now.
I met Esteban in 6th grade history class. I vividly remember this too. It was February, and there was this shit middle school dance that every loser went to, and he was gonna go to it, but then our old friend, we don't really mention his name anymore. He said, if you don't go, I'm gonna end up taking the girl you like. And then I talked to Esteban. I'm like, so you're gonna go to that dance? And he's like, nah. And I was like, do you want to go play basketball at my house? And ever since then, we just kind of clicked off. From there, he started like coming over to my house a lot. I remember specifically the same day he came over, it was raining. And after he shot at the basketball hoop, he just slipped and he ate shit completely.
I ate a lot of shit that day. I did.
I mean, we could use a little more context behind that one.
Nah. Keep it that way. Well, it would be the first of many injuries I would have at that house, including falling into thorns. But we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah, and last of all, I met Anthony 7th grade when apparently Milton and him accused me of not doing shit for a project.
Hold up. No, hold up. Did we actually meet in 7th grade?
Yeah, remember, it was the Lemon Clock project.
No, but properly. Like, did we
properly
actually meet in 7th grade? Yeah.
Yeah, I think we properly met in 7th grade. We had our differences at one point around there. It was kind of dumb. I had him for most of my honors classes.
I remember like meeting you through Luis. Like that was the first introduction. Like he just came out of nowhere, and he's like, "Hey, meet this guy I just made like
Yeah.
friends with." And he showed me you, and he just brought out this fact about you. He was like, "He's rich," and he just smiled and like threw a thumbs up. And I was like, "Oh,
nice fact." Jesus Christ. Okay then. Anyways, and ever since then, you know, Anthony as well has been alongside a lot of moments that have been really crazy. From sleepovers that should probably stay, probably behind the curtain. I don't really want to talk about that stuff right now, but
come out the closet.
Yeah, come out the closet. However you want to mention it, but
well, if you just say it that way, it sounds terrible.
Yeah, we need some more context behind that.
Yeah, just leave it at that. Context sounds very, very terrible.
For context, we did 10 pounds of cocaine that day. That's all you need to know.
I don't know if that's legal, but yeah, sure.
That's self-incriminating.
Yeah, but anyways, that's like I could go more in depth, but you know. We'll talk more about our stories after every single one of us introduces the ways we met. But just to finish it off, my perspective of meeting each of these guys, all of us we thought we were completely different people. We thought we had differences every single way. But at the end of the road, we all found out we're the same stupid idiots that like we find in ourselves, which I find pretty dope because I talk to these guys every single day. I'll probably end up...
Dope.
Milton, you want to keep talking?
Sorry. Sorry, keep going.
But the thing is that at the end of the day, I love these guys. So anyways, I'll pass it on to the other stories of how these guys met me and the rest of them. So
Milton, you want to go?
Yeah, Milton.
Right. Okay. So I met Ruben in science class in 7th grade with a teacher named we'll call him Indian. Anyways, so we met. We were doing a project on a lemon, and got distracted. We were doing a lemon project with Anthony, and you know, me and Anthony did all the heavy lifting, you know, and Ruben just sat his ass back and was like, you guys got that right."
No, I don't care.
Oh no, yes, that's what you did. Anthony, that's what he did.
Wait. So we
didn't do anything on the project.
Yeah, we did the lemon project, and basically we're supposed to meet at Milton's house on several occasions, and on all the occasions I went over to Milton's house to help him with it. And Ruben only went over once, I think, if I recall correctly. And
that's true.
We just fooled around. That day we just fooled around. So
if anything, the problem was you, Ruben. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah.
Looking back at it, we can make fun of it and just say, "Oh, it was Ruben's fault for not showing up." And all that. Our lemon project never worked.
Yeah, it was mostly our fault for being dumbasses. But I met Anthony in art class in 7th grade. You know, we got close. You know, we were like, "Hey, I'm Christian. You're Christian. We're Christian buddies. We believe in God." You know, so we got along that way. Talked about stuff. You know, we drew stuff. We drew a lot of pornography. That's what we did. Very fun. And funnily enough, I also met Esteban in 8th grade art class. You know, I saw Esteban and I was very intimidated for undisclosed reasons. You know, it was pretty fun in that class. I guess I remember Mihai.
Yeah, I do. It was
he didn't add anything,
no, he was just there. But we carried that. We carried that group.
Mm-hmm. What was the name of that one girl?
I don't remember. I know her hair was green.
You don't need to remember her name.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Let's just call her girl number 1. Anyways, I met.
Just make up a random name like Rebecca or something like that.
Yeah, and you know, I met myself while looking in the mirror. I'm kidding. So with Sanchez, I met him. I also met him the same way Esteban introduced me to him. I just saw this kid who looked like that one kid from Recess, and I was like, damn, really looks like that one guy from Recess. And from there, just had fun doing stuff. You know, I don't think I ever had Sanchez, did we ever have a class in freshman year?
Freshman year, no, sophomore year.
Sophomore year when we had it. Sophomore year we had that one math class with an undisclosed Indian man. And in junior year, we had a math class with an undisclosed Mexican woman. Very fun times.
Fun time.
Right.
the way you just emphasize Indian and Mexican.
Yeah.
Well, it's important to know the ethnicities. All right, we need diversity on this podcast.
I mean, you could just say teachers, but it's all right.
Oh,
It's all right.
will not say teachers. People need to know. Anyway, so that's how I met these dumb, idiot, sexy motherfuckers. I'm gonna pass it off to Esteban now.
All right, so I guess it's my turn. So I've known these dudes for a while, but the person I've known the most has been Anthony. We date back to
Yep.
3rd grade.
Yep.
Y'all dated in 3rd grade?
Yep.
Shut up.
We held hands. We held hands. We kissed.
So
feet.
I was a new kid. I was coming from Tucson, and I was pretty nervous about all these people because I'm like, I don't know these kids. But all I can say is the group of people I met that day, I am still friends with a lot of them now. They're very open. And one of them was Anthony. That man was goated sometimes. We would have our differences in elementary school, and we would beef for no reason. And looking back at it, I would find it very hilarious. But like, I'm still really grateful I met this dude. Then we have my boy Ruben, who's second. I met this dude as he went over 6th grade. When I went over to his house, another friend came over, and this was right after Oregon had lost the national championship game. And that friend was wearing an Ohio State jacket, and I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. But I'm glad I didn't listen to myself and I stayed, because look at us now. Friends going on years. Then we got my boy Milton. You know, we met in art class. Actually, if it wasn't for our teacher being cool and letting me move, I don't think I would have gotten the chance to meet Milton properly, because he put me in it's basically like when Bush sent all of our troops to the Middle East and we were screwed. That was the kind of group I was in, and well, I got to go meet Milton. That's how it was, man. That's how that group was.
Yeah, because weren't you sitting with the dumbass kids, like the really dumb ones?
Yeah, those kids. No, I wasn't. No, but then I met Milton, and I was like, "Hey, you like wrestling? Yeah. All right, we friends now."
Yeah.
And then the boy Sanchez. I saw Sanchez. I was like, dang. I was happy. I went to the mall. I was like, I got these fresh new kicks. I go to orientation. I'm like, yo, what is this, bro? This man's got my same shoes. But ROTC. We met at ROTC, and I was like, I'm gonna see how this dude is. And well, here, look, we're senior year now. We're still best friends. So.
And they're still in ROTC.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. But I'm really glad to have met these dudes, and without them, I have no idea where my life would be right now. So, thank you guys. So I'm gonna pass it off to my boy Anthony.
Very well.
I would like to start off with Simpson again. We met in 3rd grade. And I remember him just popping out of nowhere, and I was confused. I was like, a new kid. So I didn't know where Simpson came from. I didn't know like if he came from Tucson or Phoenix. I was just like, okay, this is a new kid. And we started off with like this kind of like mild beef for no reason. It was like a funny beef. Like I've never like wanted any like hate between us. I wanted to be like friends with him. But like Simpson always had like his best friend Raul at the time.
Yes, sir. Oh shit, I remember Raul.
Yeah, you guys always talk about like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all that, and I was like, what? I don't even watch that show. So I kind of felt like left out, and I was like, that's all right. But we always had that kind of like mild beef in elementary school. But in middle school, we settled everything, and we just became closer friends. And right now, senior year, we look back at that and we're like, oh wow, it's been a long time. Next guy is Sanchez, who is the most recent person I've met in this group, and I really don't know how I met him. He just popped out of nowhere in the group, and I was like, what's up? still don't know.
Yeah,
to this day, what day? Yeah, I still don't know like what day we actually met. Like it was just one morning we saw each other, right? But yeah, you guys like you and Simpson share like similar personalities. You guys like have this humor and like you both are really cool friends to me. And Ruben, let's go to Ruben. Ruben, we met in 7th grade.
Yes, we
I
did.
say that, yeah, I say we met through like the introduction of Luis, who was our mutual friend at the time. But I think we did kick it off with Milton and that Lemon Project and all that. But it really started, our friendship really started to grow when you first invited me over to your house and we just like played basketball and we just got to hang out. And I met Ian through you, obviously.
Yeah. For those people who don't know, Ian is my cousin.
Yeah.
Basically another brother to us.
Maybe on the podcast one day.
Actually, the first time I went over to your house was in 8th grade.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we met in 7th grade, but in 8th grade. But in 8th grade, like the series of me going like over to your house and like just like hanging out with y'all like started in 8th grade.
Yeah.
The homie Milton, definitely met him in I learned about you in 6th grade. We had like similar classes because we had honor classes. We had Kota for first and science, but we truly met each other in art class in 7th grade because we sat in front of each other, so we had to deal with each other. But we had like similar things, obviously like religion being one. But looking back at that, like that's kind of funny. That's a funny thing. Yeah, but there were some times where like it was hard between me and Milton during that class, especially because some kids were total assholes.
Yeah, like the 2 girls we sat with, remember?
Yeah, where the people just spraying like perfume.
Oh yeah, and like, caused me to asphyxiate. Yeah.
Yeah, because you have those respiratory problems.
I'm glad you find my near-death experience funny, Ruben.
Milton, we've all had near-death experiences.
Guess he wasn't built different.
I'm not built different. I'm built different, but like I'm built worse.
Iron lungs. He has lungs of iron.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
But if the iron was rusted.
Sanchez.
So, pretty much, I met everybody because of Simpson. You know, just pretty much like in freshman year. Like, he basically introduced everyone to me. You know, it first started with Ruben, and then Milton and Anthony were just like out of nowhere. You know, we're here now.
Love the enthusiasm.
Well, here's a little bit more context. Me and Sanchez, we worked together, and Simpson
they were gay lovers
with us. Yeah, we worked together at a local Safeway.
Yeah.
So we spend a lot of time together, just in stressful situations.
I don't know about the gay lovers though.
In the closet, in the work closet, we do that.
Not yet. That's basically, all of our, life stories meeting each other. And I'm just gonna say a quick story. Freshman year, like we were some of us were close in middle school, but it was in high school when we all started getting closer together. And the story that kicked it off is that all right, let me just say this. Lunch, everything's packed. We were freshmen, so we didn't really know where to hang out to eat. So we ate in front of the office, like on the side of the wall. We literally, all we did was grab our food, eat at the side of the wall. And on this certain day, there is a little bit of drama going on. There is some tension between these 2 girls. To this day, that memory lives in my head. And just to sum it up with you guys, it wasn't no ordinary drama where it was a sissy fit with like these 2 girls. No, it was the complete opposite. One of the girls was threatening to fight the other one. I'm not saying like throwing a punch or anything. I'm just saying to the extent where this other girl wanted to seem fearless when in reality she just looked what's the word, goofy. She looked very goofy. You could say that too. Yeah, a bitch. She looked like a bitch. Anyways,
oh, that's a very strong word. Damn.
It is a
Well,
strong
they're not
word.
gonna know.
Straight out the gate.
Yeah, straight out the gate. But to clarify, they just started, the tension started rising, and I don't know why they decided to do all this drama in front of us while we're eating.
Like, one of their boyfriends was there, remember?
I mean, we were just like little freshmen.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. I completely forgot that the fight was over a boyfriend. Yeah, he was just chilling there with us. I forgot he used to hang out with us.
Yeah.
And basically, the one of the girls, which was the one dating the boyfriend, she was like, "Oh, stop trying to take my man." The generic stuff you see all over the place, but the other girl took that to heart. She started yelling at her lungs, "If you want to kill me, kill me!" Like just screaming it. And I'm pretty sure, in their own eyes, it seemed like such a movie situation. But if you look over to the wall, I'm rolling on the floor. Number one,
we're all dying, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying over here to enjoy my corn, but I can't because I'm laughing so damn hard.
I'm trying to eat a burger.
I was trying to eat my pizza.
I mean, the peak of high school embarrassment is when you have a group of freshmen up against the wall just laughing at you.
Yeah. Laughing at you.
This is like the crazy thing because this was 3 years ago. This was freshman year, and to this day, that's still the craziest thing I saw my whole high school experience. Besides,
it's been 4 years. It happened in December. Remember?
That's right. It has been 4 years.
Has it been 4 years? Wow.
It's been 4 years.
Wow, that's crazy.
And just so you guys know, this. What?
Just thinking about it, was that the craziest story from high school, or was it something crazy?
No, definitely not. There's crazier stories.
It's crazier up there. Because just so you guys know, this was a what?
That's a crazy memory, but not a story between us.
Yeah.
Just so you guys know, this wasn't like push fest. This was a full on UFC fight. This was Khabib versus Conor going on in front of us right now.
But no, and then I've had my classes where everything's pretty boring, but these guys have told me some crazy stories, and I want to pass it on real quick to Estevan, Anthony, and Sanchez, because these guys are the only guys here that's had ROTC, and they've told me some shit. They've told me some things that happened in ROTC that I still can't believe to this day. So,
yes,
if any of you want to explain the story real quick, you guys can go ahead and tell the story.
High school service.
You
all start off.
Return to the campus.
More stories.
All right. So, Sanchez, I'm pretty sure you remember. It's sophomore year. It's the Christmas parade. Oh, so just for context, I'm pretty sure whoever listens to this knows there's usually a Christmas parade that goes on here. And, the high school takes part in it. And they have the ROTC go. And they have us go and march to show off, hey, look at us. We're functional members of society, right? So we go, and first off, I'm not going to drop any names, but Sanchez and I had already had enough of our people in charge, and it was kind of the breaking point a little bit, that Christmas parade, because we go, and the group's trying to figure out what we're supposed to do. So Sanchez and I are already in that we don't care attitude. So we're just there, and they tell us to go one way, and another group tells us to go another. And so, we're like, okay, so we go to move, and they start yelling at us, why are you guys moving? And they're like, what they told us to move. And they're like, oh, so you guys are talking back? You guys are getting a write-up. And we're like, What do you mean by that? And so just that it's not one of the most interesting stories, but it's one of those stories that's it's December, it's cold, and we're getting yelled at for not moving, and we got a write-up for it.
Which was stupid.
I mean that day, the whole preparation was so confusing because no one knew what they were doing. We were in the cold, we were shivering. We had uncomfortable shoes on.
It was horrible.
It was a
and
whole
then
mess.
and then where they had us, it was all muddy, and like our shoes were getting fucked.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm trying to think, Sanchez, what other like there's other ROTC stuff, but I'm trying to think like what stands out the most.
Oh, if I can like intrude real quick, there is a story. I don't know if we can say it on here, but there's a story where you guys were talking about a certain touchy subject in your ROTC class, and the teacher used Esteban as an example.
I think I remember this one.
Yes. Okay. So it was freshman year, right? I think it was freshman year.
Yeah, it was freshman year.
So we were in a classroom, and I don't remember what we were doing that day, but one of our instructors was giving off. He was trying to explain some lesson to us because that's usually what his whole job was every day. So there was all the girls had left because I think they were doing something for their uniforms or something was up, and we were all in there. And I'm in the back of the classroom because that's where they had put me because you get assigned seating kind of in ROTC. It's a confusing thing. So I was in the back, and he was talking about something evolving. Okay, so he was mentioning the topic of slavery, and just as I introduced, I'm the black man in the group. So while he was on the topic of slavery, the whole classroom is there. All the dudes, they're all chilling. He looks to the back of the classroom. Out of all odds, he looks at me and he says, "Simpson, come here." I'm like, "Oh, okay, what's going on?" And I get to the front of the class and he stands me there and he's like, "You see this? This is a perfect example of a slave right here." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Yes."
He could have chose anybody, and he chose Simpson, the only black guy in the room.
I don't know if that choice was racially motivated. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say it wasn't, but it was kind of weird how the whole class is there and he picks the one black guy to be the representation of a slave.
Jesus. That just proves to show. That just proves to show that some teachers just don't give a shit about your feelings. They're like, "Oh,
they don't.
That kid's minding his business. You know what? Let me make him feel incredibly uncomfortable."
He's black, right? Yeah, let's get him up here.
But that's one ROTC story, and just to move off the topic, I'm gonna team up with Milton for this one and talk about some stories we had in our freshman year Spanish class.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna talk about a very certain one. In this Spanish class, no one cared. Literally no one cared.
Mm.
But the only thing she was strict about was using her phones. And we have a friend, can't really use his name right now because maybe he doesn't want to be mentioned, maybe he does, but he was using his phone. He was playing PUBG, like when it was big on the phone, like when it was mobile.
Oh my God.
Playing on the corner of the room, and the teacher catches him, and she takes his phone away, writes up a referral, and just places it behind her. Like she has like these cabinets, like this little desk area. She just places it there. Every single guy in the class gets together when we're on our free time, like at the end of the class, and we talk about how, we're gonna steal his phone back. We're gonna get it back and we're gonna give it back to him. We had this elaborate GTA 5 heist, like in front of us, to like have the craziest, like we thought it was a crazy experience to try to steal back a phone. And I remember, I think it was you, Milton, who you were there too, but you were like, I don't think this is a good idea because not every teacher is a complete idiot.
Yeah.
And
for real,
I just remember her saying, whoever grabs the phone is gonna get a referral. 5 minutes later, every single one of us went up to my friend and said, "Hey, yo, bro, you on your own on this one," and we just walked out the class.
Wow.
His phone was gone for a month.
Yep.
Not my fault. That's his fault.
Hey, not my fault for him being a dumbass. Well, I mean, I think we could say his name, right? I don't think he's cool with us mentioning it.
Yeah. Diego, if you're watching this, you're still an idiot.
Yeah, Diego,
pretty much.
Diego, fuck you.
But Anthony, I'm pretty sure you're the only one here that hasn't told a story yet. So I think it's your turn to talk about, maybe a story this year, freshman year, ROTC, doesn't matter, whatever class. Just hit us with a quick story, dude. Come on, dude. Just hit us with a quick story, dude.
I kind of want to talk about a story we all experienced. Pretty anxious story. It was during lunch last year in junior year. We were like planning out this hypothetical, idea of like a school shooter shooting up the school. And that same lunch period, a guy was getting chased by the police in our parking lot, and he was accused of trying to shoot up the school because he had a pistol in his vehicle and he was on his way to get it, but the police were already in the area. They were already at the school since the morning. And the whole time while we were just planning out our escape routes, little did we know that there was actually someone planning something that sinister.
Who knows what would have happened? We may have actually had to play out those scenarios.
Like, we were just talking about it, and like we didn't even think it was gonna happen.
Wasn't it that same day, Esteban, that you brought up? Oh, should we mention this story?
Yeah.
Well, did I what?
Remember you told us about that one kid who threatened to do it?
Oh yeah, dude. That day was speedy, dude.
Yeah, that day was gloomy. That day was very weird.
Like I remember sitting on the bus and I saw like all the Anthony. Remember we got on the bus and we were like, dude, what the heck? Or I don't know. Were you on the bus?
Yeah, we were on the bus and
I
kind of felt this feeling of like, well, it almost happened.
Yeah,
I remember.
Remember, Ruben?
I remember that day.
I remember I was giving you a ride back home.
Ride. Yeah.
And we saw the police cops and we were like, damn, losers.
Oh my gosh, I forgot to mention, but like on the way to school in the morning, were you on a bus with me, Esteban?
Depends on rules.
Well, I don't think it was on a bus where I saw it, but in the office there was a whole group of just police officers and at least one detective, and they were there the whole day. And there were a lot of police vehicles in the parking lot, so the whole day was just patrolling because they knew. They knew someone was planning to do it.
And I'm just gonna barge in real quick. I'm sorry, guys, but it's for us. These scenarios are mostly just scenarios. Like, we come from a small town where
no violence
usually doesn't happen. You get a drug buzz then and now. I mean, we are a border town. It's kind of common for us, but stuff like that never happens.
No.
Never.
Nope.
Yeah, you don't expect in a school in such a small city, but then you realize that it can happen
anywhere.
Yeah, it can happen anywhere. It's the scary thing about it because it can be anybody. It can be someone you trust. It can be literally the person you sit next to in class.
Yeah, speaking of that, I want to bring up a somewhat related story. I'm pretty sure the guys know what this is about, but there was this one kid we knew. He no longer goes to school. He lives in, I think he moved back to Nogales. He sells drugs. So this kid, he was in with me and Esteban in weights for 6th period.
Oh my!
And he'd always get bullied by this one kid, and so he started making Facebook posts being like, 666, F the police. I think he also didn't he make a post where he's like, I'm gonna get my revenge one day. I miss you, big brother. I'll join you soon. And shit like that.
He was posting a lot of very concerning stuff.
Yeah. So I tell my Nana this, my grandma, and she's like, I think you should call the police. And I was like, well, we don't know if he's actually going to do it. So I leave it be. I think me and Esteban remember this very vividly. It's 5th period and U.S. AZ history class, and I get called to the office. Remember this, Esteban?
I remember this.
Yeah, I get called. I don't think any of us knew what it was about. So, I get called to the office, and, after a bit of confusion, I go into our vice principal's office. And I see 2 officers there. One of them is a family friend, and he's like, look, your grandma called us. we want you to tell us about this kid. And so he's like, where did he, can I see these photos? And I'm like, yeah, we shared in our group chat. And thank God he didn't ask to see the group chat, dude. Imagine if he had seen it.
Dude, we're going to jail. It's
not also to add to that, besides getting bullied by like verbally, they would also like pick on him physically too.
Yeah,
which is like when we would talk to the teacher regarding it, he would notice it too. I mean, the teacher like was concerned about it, but really didn't do anything. But like, I felt really bad for him because I mean, you go to school, it's supposed to be an environment where you're supposed to feel somewhat safe in, and the fact that like you go to a class and you're just trying to enjoy yourself and get dressed, and a group of dudes just come and harass you every day, like that takes a lot on a person. So I'm very thankful he never did anything, but like, I'm not saying it's justified, but I understand like the pain he felt for the stuff people would do to him, because it's pretty messed up.
I mean, it's high school, and a lot of people are just immature,
stuff like that,
insensitive,
and like drifting away from like these. Still
serious topics.
No, it still stays on the serious topic. Back in our last day of 8th grade, there was this other kid that a lot of people had speculation that he was a little bit. He woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and
a little cuckoo.
Yeah, he was a little cuckoo, and I remember the teacher said, "Don't bring your backpacks last day. There's no point. You're not gonna do anything. Why the hell are you gonna bring your backpack?" And this guy that we know, and he still goes to our school, shows up with a gym bag. Yes, a gym bag.
Yeah. And
you should have seen the face on me and Esteban, and like, because it was me, I was next to Esteban, and I was like, "Oh, we're dead." There's no way.
Wasn't I with you guys?
I'm pretty sure you were.
I think you were.
We were
because we were all like, "Damn."
But thankfully, a teacher that has been there, is pretty much a veteran of the school, confiscated the bag and took it away. But you know what? I just realized to this day, I don't think we ever found out what was in the bag. Like,
could have been both
anything. But still,
anything.
Yeah, but I don't know. There's but now backing away from the grim shit,
serious topics.
Yeah, we're gonna. I hate. All right, all right, I'm gonna disclose this. This is a story that involves me, Esteban, and my cousin and another friend. So I don't condone bullying. I think it's completely wrong. But some people can misjudge getting made fun of or just joking around with bullying. So there was this girl in one of our classes, and she started describing how she had a boyfriend, and that boyfriend sounded an awful lot like my cousin. And so we started making fun. We're like, "Oh, is he short? Oh, is it him?" And then we started, giving her, we started giving her stuff. Like we were trying to like, make her spill the beans and stuff like that. But like, we in my defense, like in my defense, me and Esteban, we were joking around. We did not mean to offend anyone.
It's typical middle school stuff. Like it was just questions we were asking her. It wasn't like we were harassing her or anything.
Yeah, we were in 7th grade. Next day, Esteban, would you like to give your perspective on when you got called into the office?
So it was like a really big okay, so it was funny. I was just chilling in class, things. I thought things were fine because like she didn't seem too bothered by it and everything. And so I'm just walking around. I'm not walking around. I'm in class, and they're like, "Hey, we need you to go to the office." I was like, "Okay, I don't know about anyone else, but even if I didn't do anything, the fact of, hey, they need you in the office concerns me because it's like, dang, yo, what happened? I don't know." I go to the office and they're like, "Oh, the counselor wants to speak to you." And I'm like, "Oh no. All right, let's see how this goes." And then she brings up this topic of like, "Are you talking bad or harassing this one girl in class?" And I'm like, "What? What do you mean by this?" And simple counselor stuff just regarding like what things are going on with this one girl. I'm like, "Oh, okay." And I didn't think too much of it until I didn't realize I wasn't the only one that was getting called to the office. Whole squad gets called to the office. And it was just like, how can someone, like, I know words and stuff can affect people differently, but I don't understand how us just asking questions about this imaginary boyfriend somebody had resulted in we need irrigation by a school counselor regarding it. I don't know.
And to put the cherry on top, when I got called into the office, our counselor literally looks me and my friend dead in the eyes and says, all four of you can, like, you guys can be charged for assault. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm going to jail. What did I do wrong? I didn't do anything. Like, like what? Like, how am I? You gotta be kidding me, number one. This is joking around. But another thing we didn't mention is this girl is very sensitive. Extremely sensitive.
Very sensitive.
I don't even want to
very sensitive.
But
very.
It's just, you know, it could have gone wrong. But at the end, at least the counselor started going on our side. She's like, yeah, you know, she seems a little sensitive. Just back off. Don't do anything. And, you know, that was that. And we didn't really have a problem anymore until around the end of the month in May when we were finishing up 7th grade. Every year we had this kickball tournament and we were sitting in the same class. And she just looks over at us and my cousin jokingly says, "What?" And she starts crying. Me and Esteban are like, this man's about to get us banned from the kickball tournament. And if you were from the school we were at, the kickball tournament meant everything for you. Anthony, you can agree. Simpson, you can agree.
I wanted to bring glory to my class.
Yeah, it was the shit. But, you know, we almost got kicked out, even though...
Oh, can I give context to that tournament?
Yeah, go ahead.
Basically, in our middle school, basically, our first period classes were, like, basically our main classes, because that's where we learned our, like the testing.
For standardized testing.
Yeah, the standardized testing and all that, the lessons regarding that. So basically, that was our core class. And at the end of the year, our core classes, each core class would, like, play in this kickball tournament, separated by grades. Like, the 6th graders would go out one day, the 7th graders would go out on their own day, 8th graders, blah, blah, blah. So this whole thing was a big deal because it's basically a rivalry between classes, between the teachers, between the students. It's very fun, and people look forward to it, especially our group because we really are into sports, and that was like a day we cherished every year. You continue.
Yeah, but, you know, to the people who are listening to this, I know you guys are probably wondering, what the hell are these stories? Like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? But since this is our first episode and we're describing ourselves and we're talking about the perspective we've had of each other and, like, everything we've been through, every single one of these stories is a part of our friendship and what got us closer and what brings our conversations to life that we want to share with you guys. Like, there's plenty of stories we can talk about. Believe me, there's some personal stories that all of us have gone through that we've told our friends that to this day we're still like, oh my God, that's so freaking crazy. But as you guys, as our audience, we just wanted to share, number one, who we are, how we met, our perspective on each other, and how these stories tell our story as a group.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like this. Oh, I'm sorry, Milton.
And if you don't agree with that, you can go fuck yourself. All right, fuck.
That's such a movie.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Like, this all proves how we are and how we talk. I'm pretty sure we're, you know, some of you might think these guys are fucking crazy or these guys are complete kooks. But believe me, we just want to share our humor and our stories with you guys. Not only will this podcast surround those stories, but we will talk about pop culture. We will talk about sports. We'll talk about scenarios. We'll talk about anything. And if you guys out there who are watching have any suggestions for us, you know, don't be a pussy and just send it. Okay? Don't be scared to talk about what you feel like you want to talk about. And if some of you have a personal story that you wish we talk about, but without mentioning your name, go ahead. This podcast is going to surround a lot of ideas and a lot of things that we're gonna test out. We're gonna find out our true capabilities with this. And, this is our first episode. Sorry if it sounded a little, it could have sounded maybe to some people this was very funny, extremely intriguing, or maybe to some of you it just sounded like a complete clusterfuck.
But, it could be very awkward to some people, or just very like weird, or just completely off the scale. But this is our first episode. We will get better throughout the series.
Yeah, much better.
Much better.
Like, like the stories we told, they were crazy stories, but believe us, there's some stories, even a story that was like a few months ago that happened here at my house due to a false alarm that is just, we've never told anyone besides, ourselves. There's stories coming from like when we all wanted to play football together and we ditched off season to go to Carl's Jr.
We met some random person on a PS4 party group.
That one. You're gonna have to have a whole episode about that one.
That's a whole ass episode because it's a long thing. We went full detective mode for that, and shit happened. But let that be a lesson for you, because I know you can find some friends on the internet, but don't trust every single person on the internet, because some people are crazy.
I want to give a personal lesson. Don't be too nice, because then that trust gets broken and you feel like an idiot. So just don't be too nice. You'll feel like an idiot in the end. But that'll be the whole episode.
But I want to thank you guys for giving your time to listen to our dumbass stories, and we'll try. We're gonna be committed to try to get 2 episodes out in a week. One get posted on Wednesday, then we'll record one on Wednesday, and then we'll try to record it on Friday. It depends how long our editing process is. We're not fucking miracle. Okay.
Also depends on our schedule, and also if anyone wants to be a guest on this podcast,
just ask.
We don't bite. I know sometimes maybe from hearing these stories, God, these guys are some real dickheads. No, believe me, we're some of the nicest people you can ever meet. Just don't push us to our limits, okay?
Well, I don't know about that.
Exactly.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, Sanchez will help you on your final when you need it. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you guys once again.
You.
And a little side note before we end it, about the schedule. I am the editor of this podcast, so if any of you motherfuckers in the comments are like, "Oh, where's the next podcast? It's been a whole last week." Well, maybe you should shut the fuck up. All right, I'm busy. I'm a student. I don't have magic hands. All right, I don't have a studio with me. I'm doing this by myself. All right, so. Continue, Ruben.
But so. If anyone has any closing remarks before we end it, go ahead. The floor is yours for now.
I would just like to say, I don't think our podcast is in huge demand to have people just begging for more episodes like that.
Yeah,
we wish, but
hopefully
it's alright if we're
not that big.
If we at least get 1 episode per week.
Hopefully, the people out there will, hopefully you guys enjoy this shit. It would honestly, it's like for us it'd mean a lot, but we're not gonna force you to watch it, obviously, or to listen to it, whatever the hell, same thing.
It's been something, a year in the making? Didn't we talk about this last December? Or we talked about this for a while.
We've been talking about this for a while, but I think we've just always joked about it. We've never actually thought about doing it until like recently during this whole global pandemic that we're in.
Wear your mask. Whoever the fuck is listening to this, wear your fucking mask, alright?
Don't wear your mask. And take the damn vaccine, all right, brother? You're not going to grow an entire ass arm, okay?
But, to close it off once again, thank you for listening to the podcast. And as always, just stay safe out there, pandemic and everything going on. But we'll promise you that, this was just to get to know us. Next podcast, I promise you we'll talk about, maybe more stories if you guys actually enjoy it. If you got any suggestions on how we can improve the podcast, we'll listen to them. But, your opinion won't matter. No, I'm just kidding. We'll listen to them.
Tweet at us or Instagram us. We have our socials in our description. Each of our individual socials. Are we cool with that, by the way? Do we not discuss this?
You can go ahead. I don't really care.
Sure. Well, yeah, we'll put our socials in the description. Contact us if you'd like. Just don't be a dickhead and send arrested. Don't. Fuck, they're gonna do that now because I said it. I'll edit that out.
God damn it, Milton. God
damn it, Milton. You jinxed us.
They won't know. But anyways, yeah.
Fucking jinxed us.
Oh, and one I have. Stan accounts are a cancer.
Yeah, call out that account.
Yeah, sure. Like, you're gonna
call out that Stan account as the one. Dox them. Address, phone number, Twitter handle, everything.
Yeah, no, screw Stan accounts. They're trash. They don't belong here. And good night.
Yeah, good night.
That's a story for the next episode.
Yeah, so there's another thing. But all right, once again, thank you, and as always, just keep being yourself, you weirdo. But thank you for listening to the podcast. Anyways, good night, and good night from all of us as well.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.